Here we are, Linkin Park fans. 7 years after Chester Bennington's unfortunate passing, we have the band coming back with not one, but two new members, actually, as 4 of the original 6 members, Mike Shinoda, Brad Dielson, Johan, and Dave Phoenix Farrell, have returned, but the drummer Rob Bordone did not. That is now taken by Collin Britain, who I didn't really know much about, but he played well during that live show that we're going to be mentioning, and I do know that Rob Bordone, around the Hunting Party era, had some back issues, so maybe that's one of the reasons that he didn't really feel like returning, but there could also be other reasons why he didn't. And then was the big one, the big question of who is going to be the lead singer of Linkin Park now, or at least the co-lead singer, because people forget that Mike Shinoda technically is one of the lead singers in the band. And there was so much of this person's going to be the singer to no, this person's going to be the singer, even though it was pretty much clarified that Linkin Park was planning to make a comeback with a woman at the helm this time around, rather than, you know, another guy, kind of reinventing themselves as they come back for this Linkin Park 2.0. And the person that they chose to, I don't even want to say take over for Chester Bennington, but to be the new co-lead singer is Emily Armstrong from the band Dead Sara. Now, I don't really know much Dead Sara songs. I know 3 songs, and I like them all, and I know her vocals are pretty insane, and when you look at it, can kind of fit Linkin Park in a way, as she came out late during the first song, because I guess they wanted to kind of hit you with the element of surprise there, and there was moments during the live show where her vocals were kind of shoddy a little bit in certain places, but, you know, it's her first show with the band, and I think she did a pretty decent job. She's not Chester, nobody else can be Chester, so Linkin Park fans, let's just, you know, enough with that criticism about, oh, she's nothing like Chester, this, that, and the other. Yeah, we know that, and I think the band knows that in themselves. They just wanted to do something different and still get somebody who could sing those songs without sounding too bad, and she actually did pretty well. Now, I'm not going to talk about all the, you know, personal stuff with her. I did see ARTV's video about the Scientology thing and all this other stuff that she did during the Danny Masterson trial. I'm not here to talk about that, because not only did we get news of a new Linkin Park singer, a new drummer, and a tour going on, but we also got a new song and an album announcement, which is actually something that I really wasn't necessarily planning to get. I thought, you know, maybe they are coming back and maybe they are going to just be a touring band. Their new album is set to drop not too far from now, November 15th. It's called From Zero, which basically, for those that don't know, before they were called Linkin Park, they were first called Zero, so basically it's saying this is where we've gone from zero to now, and it's just kind of the rebranding of Linkin Park, and they released the first single to this album, which they sang it first during that live concert event that they were doing, and then they later premiered the music video after the concert ended. It's called The Emptiness Machine.
Just to watch me play. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be.
The criticism with this, I think, is that people are saying it's too simple or underwhelming or whatever, and in my head I go, that was probably best for them to do, was to kind of start out into familiar territory with the fans, because I know last album people were very pissed off about it and how they turned into this complete just like pop direction where there was really little to no rock whatsoever. There may have been pop rock elements, but everything we'd come to know from Linkin Park had kind of disappeared. But the song starts off with Mike Shinoda singing, and then it comes in and Emily does the chorus, and then she does the second verse, and I think she does very well. And considering, you know, this is a new era of Linkin Park, yes, it does sound weird, but at the same point in time, it still sounds like Linkin Park. It actually kind of sounded like something from their Minutes to Midnight or the Hunting Party days, or at least those 2 records combined together, which, I mean, hey, you have my attention. I mean, I like some stuff on Minutes to Midnight, especially the singles, and the Hunting Party to me is a highly underrated Linkin Park record where it was just pure rock and roll, and it was kind of their return to form to that kind of rock before they flipped to the pop music. So what we got was basically a little bit of everything. The band went through their set list, they played the new song, and then they played, of course, all the other older songs, just to kind of show us what Emily can do. And like I said, there was some point in time where her vocals were a bit shoddy, but there was also songs like One Step Closer, where she really got to show off her vocal talent. Now, I will say, the more melodic singing seems to be her strong suit, whereas the screaming, again, can be a little inconsistent, but I think that just comes with trying to get more acclimated within the band, and now that she's had time to record an album with them, and now do a live show, and they have a couple other live shows coming up starting next week to end the year, before going on a even bigger tour in 2025, I think she will be acclimated sooner than later. And it was cool to see the fans cheering her on. I mean, obviously they were cheering the band on, they're happy to have them back, but the two new band members were, doing an excellent job, and the crowd was really welcoming Collin and Emily with open arms. So that's just something that you can say, good job by the Linkin Park fandom. And trust me, I would have been there, because if you were part of the Linkin Park Underground fan club, which I am, you would have gotten a free ticket or tickets to this live event in Los Angeles, but you still would have had to pay for plane ticket expenses, which I just couldn't do at this point. So it sucks, because it really would have been cool to go and experience this, but watching it live, it was done very well. There was like no buffers and all this, and it felt like you were there. Like, it was very well put together. It wasn't one of those things where it was like, oh, the live stream shut down, or the audio did this in the middle of it and it ruined everything. No, it was a really good live stream, and the show itself was fantastic. A lot of laser show stuff, and Linkin Park added some breakdowns to the end of some of their heavier songs, like that breakdown at the end of One Step Closer. Oh my goodness, I was just so surprised, because the band was rocking out again. I think really the only records they didn't touch during this live show was One More Light, and they kind of did with Living Things, kind of making the intro music before the band came out part of Castle of Glass, but they didn't touch anything else, and they didn't touch anything from The Hunting Party, which again was kind of weird, because, the sound of this new song kind of resembles that, but again, I guess they wanted to go out and play, the hit songs that everyone knows and loves at this point. So overall, that is my main thoughts on this. I'm willing to sit here and give this a chance, considering we got an album coming out now. It's not just a matter of, okay, we got one single out now, and even though it may not be the greatest thing in the world, it's still a good start, and who knows what the other singles have in store, because you know how experimental Linkin Park can get. I doubt that a lot of these songs on this album are going to sound the same, or at least they'll have their own little sound that they're going for, but they'll find a way to twist the sound on other songs and kind of differentiate it from the others. So yeah, that's it for me. You can tell me in the comments below, what do you think? But until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.
Who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers.